What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and we have a great Get Woke, Go Broke Friday afternoon for you. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you are cruising into a killer weekend. If not, if you have to work this weekend, well, at least mine some salt with me. Now, it's been a while since I've combined multiple stories into one, but I feel like this is a pretty great Games Journos Be Dumb story. And also Game Journos Be Quittin' story. So Laura Kate Dale, former news editor for Kotaku, the one that penned the amazing Super Smash Brothers piece where she accused Persona 5 DLC of containing a disability slur, which was, of course, later updated. We have published a retraction of this article. We screwed up with that Persona lyric. You should read about that and skip this. Of course, that was an article by Laura Kate Dale. Here is the retraction written by her boss. Makes sense to me. And then, of course, just to give you a brief overview of, here's an article by Sophia over at Niche Gamer. The questionable ethics of Laura Kate Dale. Now, this is, of course, the Kotaku news editor. Okay. Yesterday, Kotaku UK news editor Laura Kate Dale jumped and wrote an article in which she claimed the song included a disability slur. Of course, she was widely laughed at by everyone and had to obviously issue a retraction. But that goes just a surface level deep. In 2013, Laura Kate claimed she was, quote, completely dehumanized on stage during a live Xbox One event in London, claiming that comedian Fraser Millward referred to her as he, this one, it, and thing, or as Laura phrased it in the tweet. Immediately, the press jumped in, and websites like the Daily Dot, Pink News, and Kotaku and others made out as if Fraser was a transphobe who, once again, in the words of Laura Dale, had dehumanized her. Problem is, none of that happened. Fraser Millward at one point had referred to her as this person, something Laura deemed as misgendering, ignoring that this person is gender neutral and the phrase countless people use for a variety of reasons. Laura took this personal and made up that he also called her it, he, and thing, and slandered him online. She later retracted her claims in a joint statement. Oh, that's not even it. Laura Kate Dale, again, to reiterate, blatantly lied about calling these things. Nowhere did that ever happen, and she had to retract it. A handful of years later, she now writes for Kotaku. Let that sink in. Making this even more absurd is the above might not even be the craziest lie of her life. During E3 2016, she had claimed to have been almost kidnapped, something she would elaborate during Jim Sterling's podcast, Jimquisition Pass. As the story goes, during the week of E3, she got an Uber from a hotel in which she had been a 10-minute ride, lasted much longer, and then the driver of her car passed her hotel and then hit a button that said he dropped her off, only to keep driving, saying she was trapped in the backseat of the vehicle. She claims stayed silent, ignored the request to stop, and eventually drove her to another town 30 minutes south of the destination, where at a set of stoplights, she jumped out of the vehicle and ran away. Oddly, during this time, there's no mention of her trying to phone the police or anyone for that matter. Naturally, you, the reader, must be asking, if this happened, clearly she filed a police report afterwards, right? Nope, never did that. As strange as it is, she didn't want to deal with the police, though she claims she filed a report with Uber. She wouldn't provide proof as she's, quote, fed up with backseat advice and demands for evidence. Okay, eye roll emoji, 999 squared. One of her excuses for not involving the police is that she got shortly after she got gender reassignment surgery, knowing that she'd be in the hospital bed. She didn't want to deal with the experience. Yeah. Okay, sure. Last year, she raised funds for a book she's writing called Things I Learned from Mario's Butt, a project that conveniently boosted by major websites such as IGN. In an article about ethics, I must bring up that one of the people contributing to the book is Zoe Quinn, a person who raised over $85K for her very own Kickstarter, a game that has never materialized, one which includes Ian Hick from Easy Allies and Jim Sterling in the credits. Naturally, journalists have yet to ask questions as to where that game is, even though Zoe Quinn takes on new projects, but hey, that's an article for another time. In regards to Laura, besides her crowdfund book and Surger, she once again raised thousands for an unnamed homeless man, and given what we've seen above in regards to blatantly make stuff up, one has to question how legitimate that was, especially as she has also asked for money to help her sister move, all this occurring while she still had a Patreon as well. Well, yesterday, Laura Kate Dale said she's leaving Kotaku. Well, I, for one, say good luck to you. You won't have a giant conglomerate to back up your lies, and I appreciate you standing up on your own out in the public. Of course, most of us set up new jobs or get something else in plan before quitting, but that's just not how you operate, Laura Kate Dale. So rest in pepperonis. The past 2 years working at Kotaku UK have been a wonderful experience, allowing me the room to produce great work. Well, that's debatable. But the next few months are going to be focused on personal projects. I'm hoping to shape my career going forward. As much as I've made an exciting yet scary decision to leave Kotaku and return to writing as a solo content creator, this will allow me to focus on my 2 upcoming books. Wow. As well as a number of other long form projects I have in the works. Well, I can't imagine she's going to do that without a Patreon. My final day on the site will be Thursday, June 6th. I want to thank Keza, Rich Stanton for giving me the opportunity, blah, 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 blah. For the next week, my focus will be up on finishing up a Kotaku on a high as what comes next. I will be returning as a solo content creator just in time for E3. I have plenty of plans for E3 week, several new projects to unveil soon, and publishing schedule prepared. Ooh, nice. Okay. Starting Friday, I will be returning to Patreon. Okay, of course. As well as accepting funding on Twitch. Wow. More information on that will be announced in due time. So most people, most of us would write the book in our spare time. I can't imagine writing 1 or 2 articles a month for Kotaku takes up a bunch of time. I feel like you'd have plenty of time to work on your book in the meantime. But thankfully, there are people that will give you money on Patreon to fund your life. That's okay. Yeah, there's no problem with Patreon. Nothing wrong with that. So congratulations to Kotaku. I'm glad that you're getting a little more credibility. One does wonder if this leaving was her decision, but that's not for me to speculate. I also noticed Jason Schreier just the other day. Solidarity with my colleagues at Polygon and the rest of Vox Media as they fight for fair union contract, and shame on this management for dragging this out for 14 months. What might you be asking about? Well, the part-time workers of Vox have demanded hefty salary increases, profit sharing, amongst other things. Statement from Vox committees on yesterday's Vox Union. Now, for those who don't know, Vox, which is a house full of mediocre writers writing clickbait, hate bait pieces, have demanded they be treated like, well, I don't know, executives. On Wednesday, Vox Media Union staged a 1-hour walkout, a lunch break. As the people who power this company, we demonstrated that we are organized and united to win a fair contract. We returned to the table with management on Thursday, May 30th, committed to hammering out our final outstanding issues. For 14 months, we've been negotiating this contract. Again, you are replaceable. You are irrelevant. Your company is bleeding money. This isn't a good time to try and flex, but that doesn't matter to dummies. 1, they want a contract that provides meaningful guaranteed wage minimums that fairly compensate Vox Media employees and their year-over-year raises. Okay, raises are something that is earned. It is not automatic. That's why they're called raises. Vox Media employees and year-over-year raises appropriately reflect value of our experience and the rising cost of living. Severance that offers a meaningful economic resource to anyone laid off as they search for their next job. That is a reasonable request. A share of the revenue. A share of the revenue generated by bargaining unit members' work when it is licensed to third parties like Netflix, which is especially urgent as Vox Media continues to expand into TV film production. By the way, Vox Media and Polygon are hemorrhaging cash. So the fact that you have employees demanding more money, I wonder how this is going to end. A parental leave policy that does not require any waiting period for new hires and leads in an industry where the bar is often too low. Fine. Protection against the company undercutting the unit by outsourcing work to non-union subcontractors. These are the same people that keep telling game developers to unionize. And I keep telling game developers, do not go down that path. Why, might you say? What do you think Vox Media, a company that isn't even profitable, is going to do when their employees demand more money and guarantees? Any guesses? Vox Media has started to shift hiring towards part-timers and contract workers since its staff unionized. Obviously. Look, to unionize, you have to have a skill. You have to have some value, right? It's like when you're so easily replaceable, you're not going to have any power in your union. When the company isn't making any money, your demands are going to fall on, even if they agree with you, they're not going to be received well. Many editorial and video employees of Vox Media are at this hour finishing up their walkout to protest their employer's stance on a number of wage and other issues, including guaranteed annual salaries, better severance, and revenue sharing on derivative works. Ooh, okay. Well, let's see how this is going. Let's see. Yep, lots of people on Twitter tweeting about unionizing. Lots of really big brain people on Twitter projecting this, like Jason Schreier, who's probably the highest paid person on that staff. One piece of friendly advice from a former guild member: if you want to firmly distinguish a 1 hour, 1 p.m. walkout at lunch break, maybe don't tweet out photos of the chicken satay. Yeah, it looked bad. Because, you know, you're really suffering. You go out to a lunch break at 1 o'clock and you're eating chicken quesadillas. Solidarity, my friends. You are so strong. Boy, bold. You're so bold. Unionization in digital media is a broader trend, and workers are watching how companies in the sector respond. I don't need to wait. I'm going to tell you, you will lose. You will lose badly, and everyone will laugh at you for trying. Now, this isn't to say I don't want good and fair treatment for people in this space. That includes developers. This is one of the big reasons I don't want to make the developers shouldn't unionize video, because I'm not sure I can vocalize it in the way that I'm thinking about it. Obviously, I want people, whether I agree with their writing or not, okay, whether I agree with you or not, I want you to be treated fairly. All right. So all the blue hairs at Vox and and everyone, I agree, and everyone should be treated fairly, if possible, obviously. I don't agree with this self-importance thing that you think that what you do is particularly nuanced or highly skilled, because I haven't seen that in a world of outsourcing, in a world of working at home. You don't have any power. I'm not saying that I support that. I'm just saying that's the reality, okay? The story told by two charts below: November 6th, 2017, the day before Vox Media staffers announced their intention to unionize, Vox listed 102 full-time job openings. That 2 were part-time, contract, or freelance. That's a 51-to-1 ratio. Fast forward to today, those numbers still stand at 57 full-time positions and 25 part-time, or more like a 2-to-1 ratio. Most of Vox's media's less than full-time employees, the ones who get a 1099 form come tax time instead of a W-4, aren't eligible to join the union, while full-time openings began a steep decline at almost exactly the moment when the unionization... Are you okay, puppy? His type of cancer causes a mast cell tumor. It's a mast cell tumor, and it creates more stomach acid. And so even though he's on antacid, sometimes he gets a little yuckiness. I don't know if you even heard that and you're wondering what I'm talking about, but nonetheless. While full-time openings began a steep decline at almost exactly the moment the unionization was announced, Vox Media didn't really begin listing part-time jobs in large quantities until last December. Okay, so this pretty much tells you, right? These are part-time jobs below. Obviously, it's very important to remember that Vox Media isn't operating in a vacuum here. The general outlook for digital media companies in this class, Vice, BuzzFeed, and so on, is remarkably worse today than it was 18 months ago. Well, maybe had you have focused on earning your readers' trust instead of hate baiting everybody, maybe if you had focused on hiring people that didn't openly lie, like Miss Kate Dale at Kotaku, you wouldn't be in this position, right? I mean, and you have Schreier. Solidarity. Yeah, okay. Game Workers Unite, Solidarity, Infomortique, Challenge Activision. Yeah, I mean, they will just hire more contractors. Vox is a sinking ship anyway. Unionization is another hole in the boat. Exactly. This is crazy. You would think Vox of all media companies would be on the side of unions. I guess it shows you that regardless of their political affiliations, corporations rarely care about their employees. That's probably true. Unfortunately, this kind of the norm for union negotiations. I work for a company that has unions, and I want to say it took just as long, not a little longer, to settle a contract. We received back pay for the increase, but it still stinks. In Spain, Vox is a fascist political party. I mean, I don't know what these... I mean, update. Vox Media publisher Melissa Bell sent me this statement. We're actively hiring full-time employees and have not shifted to offering more part-time and contract roles in lieu of employees. We have made no changes in our hiring plan since the formation of the Vox Media Union, and analysis solely based on scraping of open roles to our website is not sufficient measurement of full-time hires versus part-time contractors. Also, we've hired more than 150 full-time employees in 2018. Expect to hire the same number this year. Well, I don't know. The numbers don't support you. Your readers don't support you because they just go there to rage and read lies that affirm their own political beliefs. Those people don't take out their wallets and support that. They move on to the next website that will just reaffirm their personal beliefs. Journalism is a joke. Hope you enjoy the weekend. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.